Hello guys, back again, and this time we're going to talk about Microsoft and the Xbox One. Microsoft has just announced that starting June 9th, they are releasing a Kinectless Xbox One, which will cost $399 in the US and €349 in the UK. The reason they cite this is customer feedback as a driving force behind the new Xbox One's new hardware options. Now, when we go back to E3 when they originally unveiled the Xbox One, one of the worst debuts I've ever seen of a game console, because they hit all the wrong notes to rub everybody the wrong way. They got their message was completely wrong for people to be talking about the things they should have been, or what they wanted people to talk about. Not that I didn't like a lot of them as many people did. One of the things I didn't like was the fact that you were forced to have the Kinect with the system, that you did not have an option to buy one without the Kinect. That day one, Xbox One should have had a Kinect bundle version and a non-Kinect bundle version. On top of all the NSA stuff coming out with Microsoft and how it was going to listen to what's going on, to base that on ads on the screens and stuff like that, freaked people out. My wife watched E3 unveiling of the Xbox One, and her response was, I don't want that in our house. I don't trust the Kinect. I don't like it always on, always kind of listening or watching kind of thing. Don't like it. Rule number one, you do not mess with people's privacy. And some people didn't care. Some people thought the whole Xbox One feature was great. The fact your games were kind of be tied to your console, only to your account. You can never trade them or take them to a friend's house or anything like that. People thought that was great. Some people did. I didn't. Some people did. I like to have, when I buy a game, it's my choice what I do with it. And right now there is, again, one of the major disconnects between gamers and the video game console makers and the publishers is they want you to do what they want you to do. They want you to buy that game, have it tied to your account. If your friend wants to play that game, they need to buy that game too. This is something that publishers have wanted for a long time now. It's not been hidden out there. They want to, it's a sense, partial greed, partial answering to shareholder kind of thing, that they want to make as much money as possible. They don't care. If, for example, the Xbox One, if as many people complain as they did, but they sold a lot more consoles than they did, they would not have cared and the system would have stayed the same. But despite they say customer feedback, the truth is it's all about sales. If the console had sold better, they would never have unbundled the Kinect from the system. And by the way, unbundling the Kinect from the system is a big thing because they promised the game developers and publishers that the Xbox One systems would come with the Kinect. Now don't get me wrong, the Kinect is nothing more than a voice-activated controller. It still has yet to show the potential we've seen way back in the original E3 trailer that was shown of what it could do. But a lot of people, for several reasons, on top of that, they bought one the first time. They spent $150 on something that became a voice-activated controller, and a lot of the games are bad. And they don't want to do it again. But the other reason is PlayStation 4 is beating them in sales. That there is still time for Microsoft to turn the Xbox One around. It's not. First of all, it's not like it's still selling. It's just not number one. Don't get me wrong. I can go to my local stores that have the Xbox One, and there's a lot of them still sitting on the shelves. There's Toys R Us that has banners with Xbox One on the outside, and I have not seen anybody buy it. Not saying they aren't. I just haven't seen somebody do it. But ultimately, unbundling Kinect is a good step to help with some people who fear, with the Kinect being attached to the system. But they have the bigger problem for Microsoft is simply one thing. Games. You have to give me a reason to buy your system. And this could be made for almost any next-gen console right now. The games that I want to play to make me want to buy your console. Right now, they're pretty sparse. PS4 and Xbox One, it's been almost a year. There isn't a lot out there on those consoles yet. This year at E3, whoever makes the biggest splash in games will have the best chance of their console for the next year. And that's the most important thing. Whoever gets the best games out. Unbundling Kinect is nice. It would definitely, if people who fear the Kinect or don't want it, it helps. But ultimately it comes to the games. And also, with the $399 price point, it puts it even with the PlayStation 4, unless Sony unveils a price drop at E3. You never know. The reason they stated they're announcing this now and not at E3, which I think it probably would have been better to announce this at E3, there's a lot of people who don't game all the time, a lot of gamers who look at what they only buy 1 or 2 games a year. They're not like the hardcore, keep track of the news every day. They only pay attention to E3 for that, and this would have made I think a bigger impact towards those people, not the regular gamers who keep track of the news every day. But they said they're doing this now so that E3 could all be about the games, and hopefully it is. But what do you think about the Kinectless Xbox One? Would it change your opinion? Would you actually buy one now that it doesn't have a Kinect? Or are you basically set on the fact, because of what they originally did, being the games, were originally going to be tied to the system and all online and all the stuff that it was, that you're worried that they might go back and you're not interested at all in an Xbox One? Because a lot of times, to be honest, was with me with the PS3. The original announcement, what they originally did, affects whether I want to buy the system or not. Anyway, love to hear your guys' opinions like always. I've rambled on long enough. I will talk to you guys again later.